And we basically run like this near the enemies and they destroying themselves. Also, we're provoking enemies at the same time. If they miss us, they will be more unlikely to hit us again. And when they lying on the ground, it's very easy to hit them, and we can always hit them with Divine Smite for even more crazy damage. Baldur's Gate 3 latest patch 8 is out. So, hail and Mecha Skins and Twins, it's me, Spot the King, and honestly, there was a never best time to start a new game in Baldur's Gate, since the game is extremely well polished right now. And in new patch, there is a new subclass for each of the main classes in the game. And today I will show you extremely good build for new Paladin subclass. It will be, of course, Oath of the Crown. Be careful though, because this Paladin, there is also 5th secret subclass. It's Oathbreaker, of course. And as Oath of the Crown, you need to follow your tenets. You need to respect the law, be loyal and responsible. What a nice tenets. If you want to choose best race for your Paladin, you can go for half orc. He will have ability to survive in a fight when he is down, as well as extra damage on critical hit. But as melee character, my favorite race will be half elf, of course. Thanks to ability to have nice racial speed, and we can complement it even more with wood half elf sub race for even more movement speed. Movement speed is the key if you know how to use it, but honestly, you can pick any race you like. All of them will work. Our class is Paladin, of course, and subclass is the new Oath of the Crown. It comes with special subclass action. It will be a Righteous Clarity. You can target yourself or an ally to get a proficiency bonus to attack rolls, and that's insanely good bonus. So your proficiency bonus will be 2 when you start the game and will be 4 when you level up and finish at the final level. And attack rolls will determine whether or not you hit your target, and that's a big one. 10 turns just for bonus action. Especially in early game, having this +2 to your attack rolls is very good for martial class or to buff your other classes. My preferred background will be soldier for intimidation and athletics checks, but noble also will work. Again, it doesn't matter too much. What does matter is our abilities, of course. If you're starting out first time and you never played D&D or games with this ability distribution, then the one and only thing you need to know that whether or not you have 8 or 9, it doesn't matter. Only even numbers matter. So for example, our constitution, look over here. When it's 8, nothing changed. When it's 9, nothing changed. But constitution will affect our health, and at 10 we get +1 hit point. And for Paladin, we want to be able to hit our targets, therefore we need high strength. We want to survive combat, therefore we'll need high constitution. And for this build especially, while we're able to use light, medium and heavy armor, basically all armor types, I will use medium armor. So we will need high dexterity, at least 14. That's the maximum we can get to activate full bonuses of medium armor, especially armor we will use. And last but not least is our charisma. Charisma is spellcasting ability for paladins, and it will determine a lot of factors related to your spellcast, as well as your role-playing abilities, intimidation checks and so on. And now let's make this bro look like a real paladin, like that. Yeah, he looks gorgeous. So final stat distribution will be as follows: 16 strength, 14 dexterity, 16 constitution. Our main stats. And main spellcasting ability is charisma will be at 12. And that's how we level up our friend in early game. Level 2 will unlock our most important action for any paladin is Divine Smite, of course. Damage is just insane for earlier levels. You basically will be able to one-shot enemies at this point. And as paladin you just need to pick your fighting style. While you may go for something like great weapon fighting for more damage with two-handed weapons, this subclass actually very nice and useful for tanky play, and he will fill a role of tank or protector in your party. But we will also build him as insane demolishing machine that will basically destroy our opponents later on. For now we pick defense for more armor class, and we got prepared spells. Basically paladin always know his spells, so you can prepare spells that you will want to use in a fight. Most of the time though, you won't use any spells, since our most important spell is our Divine Smite, and it also will use spell slot. Therefore, over here the best choices will be something that will be used for utility. Command spell is a nice one. Also, don't forget, our charisma is not insanely high, so our spells will have less chances to hit enemies. This means spells that will require you to attack targets with your attack rolls, that will use your strength instead of charisma, will be useful. So we're using Steering Smite in case we need fire element in our attacks, and Thunderous Smite in case we want thunder element. At level 3, we finally unlock our new class features. That's some nice buffs that will prevent us from being deceased, but most importantly we're getting actions. Actions will require you to use Channel Oath charges, more on that later. And we got 2 of them, Champion Challenge and Turn of the Tide, as well as some always prepared spells. So now we can change our command spell, we always will have it, to another smite, basically in case we need it. And level 4, that's basically where like early game ends. Technically it's something expected to have level 4, level 5 when you hit end of Act 1, but most importantly at level 4 we will choose our feat. And the first feat we will choose will be Alert. Alert will give us +5 bonus to initiative rolls, and with our dexterity not insanely high, this will help us always act first in a battle. And that's what we have in early game. We will have 3 slots for our spells, so be cautious. Divine Smite will use spell slot, every other smite will use spell slot, as well as basically your spells will use spell slots, like Command and Duel. So in case you want to unleash most damage possible, just keep this for Divine Smites. And there's a trick. You can go into your character inventory and into spell book and make sure you turn on your reactions with ask button. By turning this stuff on, you will never need to cast Divine Smite manually. You can react with it and use it in the best cases. And here is what you do when battle begins as this class. Most importantly, try to use your Channel Oath charges every fight in every short rest, because they will recharge on short rests. Righteous Clarity will give us proficiency bonus, as you already know, and you can cast it on yourself or on your ally, so it will depend on your party composition and who needs your proficiency bonus to make attacks. At this point of the game, Paladin definitely hits the hardest in the party, so it's a smart idea to cast this spell on yourself. Now if you set up everything correctly, you will hit with a high chance, and also after making attack you will be prompted, do you want or not to use Divine Smite. If you use Divine Smite, it will also add 2d8 radiant damage roll upon target. On Tactician difficulty, it can one-shot enemies at this point easily, and on easier difficulties it of course just melts enemies. You can also examine targets, and if they got any resistances, negative resistances like vulnerabilities to fire damage, for example, if you're fighting some trance or something like this, then definitely go for Fire Smite. And if you're fighting against undeads, you get nice bonus action Divine Senses. You will have advantage against celestial fiends and undeads. That's a big stuff, because advantage will give you ability to roll dice 2 times. It will raise your chance to hit substantially. Overall, right now Paladin is nothing really special, and the weakest part is actually our spell slots. We will be able to do only 3 Divine Smites per long rest. So on average, try to not use more than 1 Divine Smite each fight, or you will be out of spell slots for the full day. Anyway, even at this low level, you can become completely broken even in Act 1. By getting insanely good weapons and armors, of course. So what are we waiting for? Let's do it! First of all, we're going straight to the Goblin camp. What you're looking for over here is the person, True Soul God. And while you definitely can roleplay is also the crown, and tell you there is no us, I look to your rightful dash. Actually, you need to ask her help, and go with her into private area, and appreciate her help. And just drink potions she gives you. What can go wrong? But if you play as half-elf, it won't work, because of course it's not potion, it's a lotion, it's actually a poison. But that's the room you're looking for, you just want to go over here in this closed quarters. So I guess let's replace this lady over here and explain that we no longer require her service. The best part, we will get Priestess key over here and can completely freely go straight inside in Priestess quarters, then down into the ruins, solve the puzzle or just find the lever, and secret door unlocked, straight to the Underdark. Funniest part, you can do all of this even as level 1. In Underdark you need to go into the first room up upwards. There's a bunch of secret chests over here, and in this beautiful one is luminous armor. So that's the armor we will change for our cool looking scale of the crown, and this armor is just too good. Whenever we deal radiant damage, we will cause radiant shockwave that will inflict radiant orb in 3-meter radius that will deal debuff to our enemies with -1 to attack rolls for each remaining turn. Maximum of 10 turns, therefore we can get -10 to attack rolls of enemies. Next up, not too far away from the entrance where we just begin our journey in Underworld, in Darkland, there is a sword. It's called Faller Aloof. All you need is a little bit of strength and you will be able to easily pull out the sword out of the stone. So this sword is insanely cool. It gives you ability to use Faller Aloof melody. Most importantly, there is 2 melodies and we will use Shriek. And affected creatures in the radius when we sing in this Shriek song will take extra 1d4 thunder damage. Sounds like not a lot, but that's kinda additional damage source on all damage sources we will inflict. Next up, let's go straight to Mushroom Boys. You will easily find this Mushroom Boy village. Go straight inside, and you're looking for a trader at the right side. He will summon his friend and he will give us a quest, so let's finish it. You need to go straight to Arcane Tower and basically find every secret of this tower. Most importantly, you want to find the location on the back of the tower. At the bottom there will be a big tree. Get some Sussur Bloom from here, open the door and activate elevator by using this stuff. Now you can use elevator. On one of the floors you will find Timusk Spores and Tone of Madness. That's basically recipes you will need for this quest. But also recommend going upwards to the floor with a lot of books. And most importantly, Roads to the Darkness. After reading this book, you will be able to ascend on the elevator and talk with this big robot boy. And robot boy will become your friend because now you know the dialogue lines for him. Also, you will receive a gift, Guiding Light. That's a nice ring that will give you ability to light up your equipment. More on that later. For now, we're getting right back to Amelum, and this squid boy will tell that our quest is finished and he can't help us, but most importantly now he can at least trade with us. He sells a variety of different things, but what we're looking for is Boots of Stormy Clamor, of course. It's insanely powerful boots, and how it works basically when we inflict condition upon hostile creature, we also inflict 2 turns of reverberation. Reverberation will deal thunder damage when enemy will have 5 turns of reverberation basically, and possibly will fall prone. So what we are looking for on this class in other slots, basically we're looking to increase our armor class. We want it as high as possible. You can find rings, you can find cloaks and other ways to increase your armor class, but the less chances enemies will have to hit us, the better basic. Technically we got our full build ready and it's already pretty much OP thanks to these 3 items. So as Paladin we can use Righteous Clarity to being able to hit enemies more often. We will hit them with Divine Smite and therefore inflict radiant damage. When we deal radiant damage, we will inflict radiant shockwave, and that's condition, and condition will cause reverberation. Reverberation will deal some damage, it will be multiplied by Faller Aloof, and basically we got this nice and big combination. So that's how it looks in the combat. Normally you have, for example, like 60% chance to hit. That's enough, but it's not a lot. With Righteous Clarity we instantly get in 70%, so plus 10%, and with just 1 level up it will be 75 already. But we're not fighting yet. First of all we need to activate Faller Aloof at the first turn, and of course it will be Shriek as I told you. So we're activating Faller Aloof. Now everyone in radius will be affected by Shriek, and at the same time it will inflict reverberation because Shriek is also condition. Now we hit enemy, and when we hit him we deal extra thunder damage on top of our normal damage, but also we're using Divine Smite. It will hit him with radiant damage and extra thunder damage on top, as well as inflicting more reverberation and radiating orb. Now he will have a lot less chance to actually hit us, and that's what's so powerful in this Paladin. And while we are powerful, we're still not yet broken, and to utilize all other abilities of this new Paladin subclass, we actually need to level up and get a bit of extra gear. So in mid-game, you're leveling up like this. And again, it's like solo class build explaining what abilities you can get as Paladin of the Crown. You can finish as Paladin at level 5, switch into other class classes like Fighter, Rogue, Warlock, Sorcerer to make insanely overpowered build, and this build is on my channel. I will link them in the pinned comment and in the description. But that's how you play solo, like monoclass Paladin of the Crown for true role playing. We get in level 5, we get an extra attack. That's the place where you want to stop playing as Paladin most of the time, since most of the time there is nothing useful in later levels. But actually not for this subclass. On level 6 all Paladins will have overall protection, that's nice bonus to saving throws on all nearby allies. And on level 7 we unlock new subclass feature, it's Divine Allegiance. When an ally in 1.5 meters of you takes damage, you can use the reaction to change his health with your health. And that's kinda magic and subclass feature of this Paladin. He is the real tanky guy, because at level 8 you get new feature, which will be just ability improvement +2 into strength, and the biggest power spike at level 9. That's where our build will finally shine. Basically when you're going into the last parts of the game, of course, so you're starting to become pretty useful Paladin, and that's why I really recommend you picking this class and trying him as mono class. So he will gain Warden of Vitality, which casted as level 3 spell, will last for 10 turns, and you will be able to use your bonus action to heal yourself on nearby allies. Spirit Guardians will also be always prepared, and Spirit Guardians is insanely cool spell that will elevate our build a lot. So that's how you can elevate build even more. We will travel to next part of Underdark into Grim Forge, and this location will give us next tools to elevate our build even more. Here we can fix most problematic part of our build, our limited spell slots and inability to deal radiant damage constantly. You can talk with Corsair Greymon if you got over here peacefully, and you can trade with him pretty easily. I recommend to buy both Banshee, it's really powerful bow, as well as Shining Saver of Skulls. That's one of the first weapons in the game you can get in Act 1 that will deal extra radiant damage on hit. Since Faller Aloof will be recharged on short rests, sometime you can continue your adventure and switch to this next weapon instead. Also, you want to explore area in Underdark Grimforge and find Ancient Forge. Get some resource, and it will be mithril ore, of course, and the skeleton inside and on top of the stairs in one of the rooms in this location will have shield mold. That's what we need for our build. Funniest part, if you know what you're doing, you actually can do it even at level 1 if you're able to get to this place safe. All you need to do is to go to the forge, drop down shield mold inside, open the crucible, and drop mithril ore inside. After activating forge lever, it will drop. But you need to stay on top, of course, because from the top position you can use your bow and shoot lava valve. This will summon Grim himself, yeah, the Titan of the Grim Forge, and he is insanely strong enemy, but you can easily start a fight from this position. Basically you just bombard him with arrows from the top and turn, and while he is being melee, he can't do anything to you. To deal damage he should be in the lava, or you will do almost no damage, so just shoot this lava valve from time to time, and yeah, it will take some time. You can just throw some stuff on him, it will deal some damage, and then we finally can forge our shield, adamantine shield. So what is this beautiful piece of armor can do? And while it got normal armor class of normal shield, actually it's pretty insane. Whenever attack misses you, attacker will go reeling for 2 turns, and reeling also will give him disadvantage of basically penalty to attack rolls, as the bonus attacks can no longer land a critical hit on us. And we can easily elevate our build by going into the next part. I call this Act 1.5 as well as Underdark, basically because it's the last area before finally getting to Act 2. By completing series of quests and puzzles in Rosemarine Monastery, you can get one of the best weapons with radiant added damage in the game. However, we are here for another reason. We want to find this painted chest. It's on the highest floor in this broken Rosemarine Monastery, and there will be Holy Lance helmet, another piece of medium armor. It's look very cool, and we're definitely ready to go and tackle Baldurs Gate 3. But to completely finish build, you need to go to Act 2 and then find these 2 rings. It's really easy, and early in this act you can get them basically from the start, and full combination will look something like this. So you need to make sure someone in your party got this light spell, or just use the ring we got from from the arcane tower. This will light your weapon forever for a full day, and this is needed for Valor Aloof. If you're using bludgeoning weapon like this, or the one you get from the monastery, Blood of Lathander, legendary weapon, then they already got pre-installed light inside. And you need light because with Kalos Glow Ring from Act 2 you will deal 2 extra points of damage against eliminated creatures, and this damage will be radiant. By using Coruscation Ring that you will find in the cellar of Last Light Inn in Act 2, whenever you deal spell damage while eliminated by a light source, you will inflict radiating orb upon enemy for 2 turns. So now on first turn of the combat you will just start by singing Shriek as always, and while you can use Righteous Clarity to increase power of attack rolls and have more chance to hit your enemies, actually that's not what you want to do. Instead you want to use Champion Challenge right now, and this will challenge enemies in a large area to attack you. This also consumes Channel Oath Charge, and that's why this Paladin is very good as tanky guy. He basically provokes enemy to attack him, because from now on enemies who is affected by this skill, if they will try to attack your allies, they will have disadvantage. And on the next turn you turn on your Spirit Guardians with level 3 spell slot with radiant damage. Now you come close to enemies, you inflict radiant damage, it will trigger Valor Aloof for extra thunderous damage, it will inflict reverberation and more radiant damage by our ring. But that's not it. Now these guys, as you can see, affected by reverberation and radiant orb most importantly. Now they have -4 to chance to hit you. So it's very unlikely they will hit us, and when they miss us, they will take extra radiant damage. Just look here, we come close, now we run to another guys, he misses and he takes some radiant damage with bonus from Glow Ring. At the same time it triggers thunder damage, and it also added Kalos Glow Ring because he is lighted up. And we basically run like this near the enemies and they destroying themselves. Also we're provoking enemies at the same time. If they miss us, they will be more unlikely to hit us again, and when they lying on the ground it's very easy to hit them, and we can always hit them with Divine Smite for even more crazy damage. This build is so broken, it's insanely overpowered in party, and even if you know how to play Baldur's Gate 3, you can do this build solo. It's the best tanky melee build you can probably do in the game right now as new subclass for Paladin. Funniest part, when you stay so close, enemies will try to run away from you, and this will provoke opportunity attacks. They will take even more damage, and it's basically no way to deal with this crazy and unbeatable Paladin. So it's best time to finish our leveling process, and basically we got 3 levels left. What you want to do, you want to finish as Paladin to get more lay on hand charges to being able to heal yourself, and on level 10 we have improved Divine Smite for more damage of Divine Smite basically, and final level 12 is last feat, and you want to just finish with high strength for high chance to hit. I hope you enjoyed this video and you will have blast playing through Baldur's Gate 3 with this new Paladin. Make sure to watch other broken multi-class builds on the screen right now, and see you in the next videos.